All right, welcome to the first episode of GJ and Al Ray's Baseball Cards. This is my co-host, GJ. Can you say hello?
Hello.
Today we're going to be looking at 1952 Bowmans, and we're going to be looking at those who contain subjects, players that are still living. So there are still a few, maybe a few more than you even realize, because these cards are 67 years old. Now, not pictured in our collection are cards by Carl Erskine, who was a member of a lot of those 40s and 50s Dodger teams that were really good. Also Bobby Brown, and the second most expensive card in the set, which is Willie Mays. So just to kind of give you an idea of how rare the card is for people who are still living, this is our stack of cards. Yogi Berra is, of course, the first card in the set of subjects who have passed on. And here is our cards of the living. So as you can see, most of the players in this set have passed away. Anything to add? Nope? Okay. So, the first card, the youngest player, I don't know if that's the right way to go about it, also happens to be the best player of our collection. This is, of course, Don Newcombe. Don Newcombe is 92 years old and 247 days. His card number is 128 in the set. Don Newcombe is a Hall of Famer. He ultimately won 149 games in his career, mostly with the Dodgers, those really good Dodger teams of the 50s. So, but he is in the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Yeah.
How much games did this guy win?
He won a lot of games. He was the catcher for the Yankees, so he won a ton of games. All right, which brings us to our second subject. His name is Howie Judson. It's actually very appropriate because today is also Howie Judson's birthday.
Look.
Can you believe that? It's this guy's birthday, Grayson. He is 93 years old today.
Why did you
But he spent most of his career with the Sox. He's number 149 in the series. Today is his birthday. And in his career, he won 17 games and lost 37 games. So sub 500 average, but he is still with us. Played almost his entire career with the White Sox. So, but there you go, Howie Judson. So, 93 years old today. That's pretty cool. I just figured that out. All right, next is Irv Noren, who is one of the very few vertical cards in the set, but seemingly everyone who is still living has a vertical card. So Irv Noren is the 21st oldest baseball player living. He's 94 years old and 79 days. His card is card number 63. As you can see, he played mostly with the Washington Senators, and he had 11 years, in the majority with the Senators, 857 hits. So,
I don't
Irv
think
Noren.
there's 100 of these cards.
There's not quite 100 cards, but
It's higher.
it's very high. All right, which brings us to our next card. Charlie Silvera, who, believe it or not, so he's the 19th oldest baseball player currently living. So he is another horizontal card, very cool card. He is a catcher. As you can see from his uniform, this is one of my favorite cards. He has pinstripes on. Now, there's a reason why Charlie Silvera would have played, got a lot of World Series rings. He played for the Yankees from 1948 to 1956. And in that span, only accumulated 136 hits. And that is because he was, of course, the backup to the one-of-a-kind Yogi Berra. But Charlie Silvera is still living, as I mentioned, has a lot of World Series rings, and was a steady, reliable backup. Which brings us to our next subject, which inexplicably is yet another horizontal card. This gentleman's name is Gil Cohn. So Gil Cohn is actually the 8th oldest living baseball player. He is 96 years old and 274 days. So 96 years old, 274 days. Just as a sidebar, this is the first baseball card, or the oldest baseball card, probably both I have seen, that has a player with a wristband. But Gil Cohn is number 51 in the set. And he finished his career, he played 11 years, had 731 hits. The vast majority of his career was spent with the Senators, 7 of his 11 years, but he also played with the Orioles and the Giants. All right, is my co-host keeping those in line?
Yep.
And the 6th and final card of the 1952 Bowmans who are still living is none other than Eddie Robinson. Now, Eddie Robinson is actually the 5th oldest baseball player living.
Dad, I forgot. Which one is it?
That's okay, we'll get him back. So, Eddie Robinson is 98 years old and 63 days.
I know this one is the top.
That's right. Which one's the top?
This one.
Yep, be careful because that's a good one. All right, so he's actually the only living member of the 1948 Cleveland Indians World Series winning team. He's card number 77
Dad,
in the set. Now he had a pretty good career. He played, hold on one sec, 13 years, over 1,300 games, 1,146 hits. Of those, 172 were home runs. He's a .268 career hitter, but a very good on-base percentage for a career, .353. So we'll add him there. I also forgot Randy Jackson. So there are at least 4 guys that we know of that I've done. There's 252 cards in the set. So I know that these 6 gentlemen are still living, plus 4 others: Carl Erskine, Bobby Brown, Willie Mays, and Randy Jackson. But that concludes our first episode of GJ and Alray's baseball card show. Anything you want to say? You're playing with some good ones there. All right. Sign off, Gray. What's your catchphrase? All right. See you later. Until the next time.